Her text arrived at 7:14 p.m. Short, neat, almost casual. Stuck at office party tonight. Too much wine. Crashing at a colleague's. Don't wait up. I read it twice, then a third time. My thumb hovered above the screen, not shaking, never shaking, but my pulse tightened like a knot pulled one loop too far. A colleague's. She didn't name which one. She never slipped like that. For a moment, the room felt colder than it should have. The dining table was already set. 3 plates, 3 glasses, 3 forks. I had invited her mother and sister hours ago, on a whim they didn't question, because why would they? I was the dependable one, the steady one, the one who played along with the carefully curated family image she built around us. But the message made the fork in my hand feel heavier, sharper. Truth has weight like that. I typed my reply without overthinking it. Perfect timing. I'm not alone tonight either. I didn't explain. I didn't need to. 17 minutes later, the deadbolt rattled. The door slammed open. She stumbled inside, breathless, hair wild from speed or panic, eyes wide in a way no innocent woman's eyes widen. Her mother turned first, then her sister. I stayed seated at the table, calm, composed, waiting. She stared at me, chest rising and falling like she was drowning in air. I lifted my gaze slowly. "So," I said, voice even, "which colleague's house? The married one you've been texting?" The room froze. Inside me, something finally aligned. The first crack had appeared months earlier, quietly, like a whisper behind a closed door. Late-night messages turned face-down phone habits. Sudden laughter at someone else's jokes. A new perfume she never wore around me, but somehow lingered faintly on her skin whenever she came home late. I noticed everything. I always do. I just pretended not to. Denial is an odd sort of comfort. It lets you keep breathing in a room that's already on fire. But then I saw his name. Accidentally, supposedly. A notification that flashed when she forgot her phone on the kitchen counter. A short message, 2 words. Miss you. It wasn't the words that cut. It was the time. 1:03 a.m. She had been sleeping beside me. Or pretending to. I remember standing there, holding the phone like a fragile truth I wasn't ready to face. The realization came not as a crash, but as a quiet shift, like furniture rearranged in the dark. My world didn't fall apart, it simply moved, off balance, wrong. She came downstairs moments later, yawning, asking if I'd seen her charger. She didn't see the way I looked at her. I made sure of that. From that night, suspicion became a shadow following every step. I watched her smile at messages she didn't open near me. I heard her slip outside to take a call. I counted the nights she came home late, blaming deadlines that never showed on her calendar. Her words became a film I could see through. Her affection became a currency she spent only when guilt demanded it. Still, I said nothing. Because you don't confront a liar when you only have smoke. You wait for the fire. My investigation didn't begin dramatically. There was no rage, no storming through drawers or tearing apart closets. I approached it like I approach everything, quietly, methodically, with an almost clinical detachment that unsettles people who don't understand it. First, her phone backups. She forgot I set them up. Patterns emerged, deleted conversations, missing timestamps, gaps that formed silhouettes of truth even without words. Second, her work events. I checked her firm's public calendar. Most of the nights she claimed to be busy involved no events at all. Third, him, the married colleague, the one whose name kept recurring, not in her words, but in her omissions. He posted photos carelessly. A watch on a dinner table, a reflection in a restaurant window. In one picture, the edge of a sleeve I recognized. Hers. She always wore that color when she wanted attention. It wasn't proof yet, but it was direction. Then the hotel receipts. Hidden under the sink in her bathroom, tucked into a makeup bag she thought I'd never open. 2 of them. Same hotel, same nights she came home smelling not of perfume, but unfamiliar soap. I never confronted her. I wanted to know everything first, every lie, every detail she thought she was clever enough to hide. There was a moment, standing alone in the bathroom holding those receipts, when something inside me shifted from hurt to clarity. The pain didn't disappear. It simply organized itself, became useful. Truth sharpens when you hold it still long enough. I planned dinner with her mother and sister not out of spite, but precision. They adored her, worshipped the image she crafted. She relied on their approval like oxygen. So I invited them, cooked for them, smiled as though nothing was wrong. I waited for her message. I knew it would come. People repeating habits are predictable like tides. When it finally arrived, her excuse, her lie, her carefully placed alibi, I felt nothing except the settling of pieces into place. Her face, when she burst through the door, told me everything. She wasn't worried about me. She was worried about being exposed. The receipts were in my pocket. Screenshots saved, a timeline built like a case file. I didn't need to shout. I didn't need to accuse. I simply asked, "Which colleague?" Her mother's fork clattered to the plate. Her sister inhaled sharply. My wife froze. The silence pressed against her skin, bending her spine, stealing the color from her face. She tried to speak, but guilt thickens the tongue. I watched her crumble in real time, calm, detached. She stuttered a name, a random one, the wrong one. I slid the hotel receipts across the table. Her eyes widened, her pulse visible at her throat. She whispered my name like it was a plea, or a warning, or both. But I didn't react. I'd already learned everything I needed. I invited them, I said quietly, nodding to her family, because I thought they deserved to know who you really spend your nights with. Her mother covered her mouth. Her sister murmured something sharp under her breath. My wife's knees buckled. She caught herself on the chair, eyes shimmering but no tears falling yet. Tears require innocence. She had none left. You trapped me," she whispered. "No," I said. "You trapped yourself. I just turned on the lights." I stood, placed my phone on the table, and pressed play. A series of screenshots scrolled slowly. Messages, times, locations, proof she couldn't outrun. Her mother sobbed. Her sister stared at her like she was a stranger. My wife reached for me, desperate, pleading. "Please, please don't do this. We can talk. We can fix." I stepped back. She broke. Right there, in front of the 2 people whose approval she lived for. That was the moment she understood. Not that she was caught, but that I was already gone. I left the house before she could gather whatever apology she would have manufactured. Her voice trailed after me, thin, trembling, hollow. I didn't look back. Outside, the air felt cleaner, colder, honest. There's a strange peace that follows truth. Not warm, not comforting, just clear. Like stepping out of a fog you didn't know you were breathing. She built our marriage on carefully arranged illusions. I dismantled it with facts. No shouting, no chaos. Just truth delivered at the precise moment it would cut the deepest. As I walked down the street, hands in my pockets, I felt lighter. Not healed, not whole. Just free of the weight that wasn't mine to carry. Some betrayals destroy you. Some sharpen you. Mine did both. And in the quiet that followed, I realized something simple, final. She wasn't worth the man I had to become to uncover her. That, more than anything, was the end.